Yeah. We're starting. Hello and welcome to another episode of Prophetcast. Today is 2013.
What?
It's not 2013.
It is not. You're right. Today is June. Why? I've already started drinking. This is not going to work out well.
Today is 2013.
I'm trying to hit you, kid. Welcome to the Imaginary Prophetcast show. Today is June 13th, 2014.
There you go.
I'm Steve Hayes.
And I'm Dave Curry.
And we are the Thought Prophets. The Thought Prophets is an atheist/secular group dedicated to the promotion of open discussion, continuous learning, skepticism, and science! You can check out our website at www.thoughtprophets.com. Check out our blog at blog.thoughtprophets.com. Go to iTunes, because we're on iTunes. You can either search for Thought Prophets or Prophetcast. Subscribe to us, rate us. Same thing with Imaginary Friend Show, which we'll talk about in just a second. And follow us on Twitter by searching for Prophetcast and Thought Prophets. Join our Facebook group by simply searching for Thought Prophets. Holy shit! I said like search and join and a shit ton right there. I didn't realize how in depth that is anymore. David, you can talk now.
Pretty in depth, but tonight our guest is another prophet, Candace Bell. You can find her blog at nonprophetess.blogspot.com, and you can follow her on Twitter at nonprophetess. How are you tonight, Candace?
I'm fantastic.
Don't we sound professional, Candace? Don't we sound like super awesome right now?
We're
blowing your mind right now.
Super awesome.
And our special guest tonight is the host of Imaginary Friends Show, and once
he
was
gets
out
to be
back.
a special guest?
He's a special guest. Fuck yeah, he's a special guest.
And I'm just like a...
David's got this awesome intro
guest.
for him, all right?
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
He is the host of Imaginary Friends Show, and once was out back in the outback, about to throw another shrimp in the Barbie, when a dingo out of nowhere ate his baby. Mr.
Which
Jake
is Australianese penis.
That's right. Man, penis.
The dingo ate me penis.
Hey, whoa! Again, that happens a lot there.
Damn.
Yeah. Hey, Steve, are you aware that your pug's tail looks like a cinnamon bun?
You know, I am actually. It's never mind. I'm not going to get it. We have small children. There's accidents sometimes. Let's just say that. No, that is not what you think it is. Okay, I know how things look.
Your tail looks delicious. Come here, pug.
Well, right, but here's the thing, though. It is a great lesson to show kids that things may not always be as they seem. You know what I mean? Like, though it might look like it's the same thing. Very much not.
Oh, crikey! Are you talking about chocolate and things that look like chocolate? Is that?
You know what? I honestly don't know what I'm talking about anymore. And I
okay,
think
good. As long as you're not insinuating that your children ate poo, then that's fine.
Well, they ate it. You couldn't really tell what it was. I mean, there was kind of like stuff on their hands, but it didn't smell like poo.
At what age does children is the cutoff line for children? Because I'm just curious for eating poo.
Well, hey, never. I don't think that there really is a cutoff
yes. line. I mean, that's just weird. Someone would do such a thing.
So, thank you for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Right. Well, and thanks, and have a nice night, guys. No, seriously, we are totally stoked to have you because I listen to a ton of your shows, and there's so much fun. Like, I really, really do enjoy what you produce. You really have you have a fantastic voice for this podcast, and you bring up some fun, interesting topics. You make it really funny, and I absolutely just love it. So.
Yeah, I like how it's kind of like a mix between a talk show and a game show.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a really cool format. I enjoy it very much.
Well, I'm glad you like it. I'm always happy to receive compliments.
Yeah. Well, so I do gotta ask you. Oh, I've got to answer Nancy here real quick. I'm drinking a New Belgium Fat Tire. That's what I'm drinking. Dave, what are you drinking?
I am drinking an Angry Orchard crisp apple.
Oh, you went with that again. Man, you're hooked on those freaking ciders.
You know that's bitch beer.
I know, but it tastes delicious. But
I'm telling you, I am making the move over to cider. I just enjoy it so much more than beer. It's so much more refreshing.
I'm totally with you.
I mean, it's something that you can drink throughout the day, where it's kind of like, I just want to be buzzed throughout the day instead of, I need to get
It's
drunk
something that
right
you can
now.
pick up at, like 7 a.m., just before you drop your kids off at school.
Right.
It's
Totally.
it's the perfect drink to be an alcoholic on.
Exactly, right before work. It's no longer a regret, so it's kind of nice.
See, Dave, I'm a glutard. I've got celiac disease, so I can't drink beer, unfortunately.
Oh man!
Or beards either. I can't drink beards. It's one of the hardest things that you'll ever do is to drink a beard. But I can't drink beer, so I drink cider all day long, pretty much
All
from
day
7
long.
a.m.
Starting
onwards.
at 7 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, that's the story that I was telling. It wasn't hyperbolic whatsoever. It was completely the story of my life.
Right.
Sure. Hey, so I was gonna ask real quick before I get to a couple of these other questions. I was kind of curious. So I've been playing around, David, and I've been playing around a little bit with doing.
Oh
some
yeah, you have, baby.
Yeah.
You have. We have been playing around. You have no idea. So we played around.
Good chat.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm liking where this is going. So my shirt's coming off now. Too bad for the podcast, guys. Maybe you should come to the live show. Speaking of live shows, so I was curious. You do your show, and then you do some editing and stuff, and I know a couple other people who do the same thing. I was just kind of curious, like what drives you to do the edited version versus something kind of like we're doing now, where we get to catch you in your mistakes and completely point and laugh and make fun of you, which is really the reason we got you on here. You're so good on your show that I was like, this fucker has to make a mistake at least once, so I'm gonna get him on it and then call him and be done.
Well, the secret is that I do such a small amount of editing. I've been doing it for 4 years, man. And when I started, there was no Google Hangouts. So I just discovered that this morning while I was recording. 4 freaking years, 4 mother flipping years. 4
Congratulations.
matriarch fornicating years. I mean, that is a lot of years. There was no Google Hangouts when I started off, and we were all actually when I first started off, we were all in one room. So I had a bunch of friends that we got together and we did it all together. I didn't do any of the editing until about episode 20 when we lost a couple of people. They moved away, and I took over the reins. So so basically the really long answer, the really long way to answer that really nice succinct question is that I grew a beard. And then I just wasn't satisfied with that, so I thought I'd grow some chest hair. And then I decided that I'd do it over Skype and do just a smidgen of editing and then put up 2 shows a week. I think I answered your question.
That's it. Yeah, you pretty much did. I think I might actually do the same thing. Hold on, I got you a little more chest hair though. This one's not working out so well.
Oh my God!
I'm Italian.
Don't.
I'm Italian, Steve.
Leave
so,
your clothes on.
The hair starts up there, it joins and goes across my eyebrow, and then it just, continues all the way down.
Nice. So you can make the bonsai tree then. I love that. That's
I'm part Italian as well, but I got lucky that I didn't get the full effects. Like my dad has, like Robin Williams level of hair. That like if you see him in shorts, it looks like a bear.
Oh, fuck a bear.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, fuck a bear? Are you suggesting that we should fuck a bear, or what exactly did you mean by that? I'm not sure if that's an Australian thing, or like a language barrier.
Fuck a bear! Actually, you really shouldn't fuck a bear because koalas have chlamydia. So it's actually a really terrible story.
God, I've heard about that. That was on the
yeah.
Koala Wiki. Yeah, I was just on the Koala Wiki the other day. Yeah. Reading all about
koalas have their own wiki? It's on koalawiki.com. Haven't you been there?
Haven't you been? Yeah, they really care about their online presence, man. Come on.
Your one-stop shop for everything koala.
Currently, as I take chlamydia medication. Poor little buggers.
We're accepting donations.
That's right.
Medication to koalas. Help the koalas.
You can go to helpthekoalas.thoughtprofits.com and donate. Imaginary
Oh
Free
man,
Show
Candace
cheer
is
will
just
definitely get on
cracking
that.
up over here. I don't think she's
know.
going to be able to speak the whole time.
I know, this is just, oh man. So you hit up the kind of a little bit of like when you got started, why you got started. David, I'm not letting you ask any questions, so screw off. So like why did you get started? It's probably one of the most common questions I get from people is just like, hey, I got a podcast. Cool, what's it about? It's like, well, it's kind of about, atheism-ish. I kind of talk about religion and politics, and we talk about just, stuff around us that's going on. And I mean, the minute
that's
I pulled
good.
that
So you like
atheism
every
word-
other podcast.
What, are you right?
Oh,
I mean, pretty
right.
much.
See, I like to
Fuck
think
off.
that we're more of a talk show.
Thanks for hanging out with us, man.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about the other guys when they come to you and say, I got this idea for a podcast. I wasn't insulting you. I was insulting them.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Yeah, of course, absolutely.
No, that's
Good
what
cover.
you should be
Recognize
doing. No, but seriously, Steve, what you should be doing is you should actively discourage anybody from ever doing another podcast because solidarity, guys.
Right?
We've got to keep the community small.
There are a crap ton of podcasts.
Crush those other fuckers.
We must.
I have noticed how you say that you are the one true podcast.
Yeah,
No, he's the
I've never said that.
podcast.
I have
It's
never
podcast.
ever said that.
Yeah, that's
No.
true.
Okay.
Podcast.
Code taste. Everybody says it wrong unless they're me.
That's fair. All right.
Well, that has a story behind it as well, but I'll answer your first question. So we started it in 2000 and the very beginning of 2010 after the Global Atheist Convention in Australia, in Melbourne. I went to that to see Richard Dawkins, who I just read the God Delusion.
Who?
And exactly.
Yeah, right?
Exactly. I know, right? Who?
No idea what
but
you're talking about.
It was tremendous to see so many people who, I have a story. I lost my religion, went through a terrible time getting rid of that, and really what I wanted to do was try to connect with other people who might have been able to benefit from my experience, from really going through a terrible, terrible time of disillusionment, etc., and coming out the other side happier and more intelligent individual, more open, more emotionally open, and etc. individual. So I wanted to share that. I wanted to give people the benefit of my experience. And I found a group of like-minded people, and we had the idea of putting together a somewhat serious show, but with skits and music and just basically fun. What we really wanted was a fun show with good quality sound, because that was a real issue at the time. There were plenty of atheist podcasts out there, but their sound was shit, was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's basically it. We got together with a group of like-minded people to try and save the world, to change the world.
Boy, does that sound familiar. Although that's a shit idea, so you should shut your podcast down and just listen to ours. So, you're just keeping that one podcast thing going, right? No, that's fucking amazing. I think I don't know how many times I've said that. Like that's actually what it says on my car's bumper right now. It says changing the world. But yeah, that's pretty sweet. That's kind of why we did this. David and I started out with so I started a Facebook group because I kind of came out as an atheist and then started the group and needed some other people to talk to, like you said, like-minded individuals, and I started talking with people, and we realized really quickly that Steve-O sucks with words when typey type. Not good at all. Like, can't say what he means to say and just looks like a real moron. So I was like, you know what? I want to be able to yell at someone because I have a really loud voice, and the louder you are, that just means I win. So I figured I'd start this and say, hey, look, I'm gonna change the world one podcast at a time. Except that I didn't expect that many viewers, and now we're actually getting amazing people like you, and I mean, there's just so many, it's really taking off, and it's just a matter of kind of just stepping up and saying something. I think is kind of cool. So
yeah, totally.
That's amazing. That's rad. That we kind of did that for the same reason. David, you want to ask the next question?
Oh, sure. I suppose.
Otherwise, either that or Candace. Otherwise, she's never going to talk. While she can breathe right now.
Yeah. So I mean, about your book a little bit here. So you have a book out.
Know more about this.
Called Letters to Christian Leaders. Hollow Be Thy Claims.
There it is. Let me kick on you.
Yep.
Ooh, that was amazing. Yeah.
Nice. Tell us a little bit about your book, and what was the motivation behind starting that and getting it.
Actually,
out
just
there.
read the whole thing so I don't have to buy it.
Once upon a time, there was a man and a woman.
Yes. Wait. Oh man, I've heard this one
They
before.
were best friends, and he was in the friend zone. And he would never leave the friend zone because he was a nerd.
Book
But it was
closed.
okay because later on, at around his 30s, he found somebody that was totally his style.
His 30s. Great.
The 10-year reunion, she found out just how much you missed out on.
Was that the
Yeah, so
family reunion, or was that the actual 10-year?
10-year.
First one and then the other, baby.
Yeah. Hey,
The story doesn't take place.
I've known you like my whole life.
We're like brother and sister, I swear. No,
I
we are
swear.
brother and sister.
Shh, don't tell no one.
Shit.
Incest, the game the whole family can play.
Hey.
Oh.
Yeah, so I wrote the book because when I left my religion, my previous religion, I was left with a lot of unanswered questions. I don't know whether you guys were religious at all, but one of the interesting things about the religion is that, especially when you're entrenched within it, is that you can often ask questions of people within the religion that who will basically give you bogus answers. They'll give you ridiculous answers, non sequitur answers. They'll go off attacking other things when you ask, why is the sky blue? Oh, I don't know. Homosexuals are bad. That sort of thing.
Right.
So they're classy and famous for that.
Yeah.
What I wanted to do was take the statements of high-profile religious leaders.
Mm-hmm.
And counter their claims one by one. And so that book is countering many hundreds of claims made by very high-profile, very well-known Christians, Christian leaders, and therefore the book was named... such as... why don't I just grab it? Here we go. So we got... Dr. Paul Knight, Kirk Cameron, Reverend Pat Robertson, Dr. Georgia Perdue. She's one of the heads of the Creation Ministries International. She is a molecular microbiologist, and a creationist. Get that around your head. I don't know. Don't ask, because it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Rick Warren, Roberta Coombs, Reverend Bill McGinnis. Roberta Coombs is the head of the American Christian Lobby, or the Christians for America. I can't remember.
American.
She was one of those Christians.
They get confused all the time.
Something.
The head of the Opus Dei Church, the mega rich Catholics, Monsignor Javier Scherer, Ken Ham, Dinesh D'Souza, William Lane Craig. So basically, I took a really great, all-encompassing speech or address or essay from each of those individuals. I took apart the claims, and then refuted them with science and evidence, best evidence at the time.
Logic.
Logic.
Whoa. Was that observable evidence, or was that historical?
It was historical. It was only historical evidence,
good.
unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make sure that.
Yeah. So no, it was honestly, it was the most cathartic thing I have ever done.
Wow. I cannot believe you were able to read through all of those things. Honestly, props to you. I've read through only some, and I swear to someone's God, I get to half of it, and it's like, close the page. What the fuck? What the?
I can't even sit through a full episode of the 500 Club.
Seriously, like I cannot get through this. My head is gonna explode out my ass.
But that's exactly.
I would pay to see that.
You've got it. You'd pay to see Steve's head come out of his ass.
Well, Steve's.
That would be in the series. Steve's head come out of his ass. Yeah, that would be an incredible show. Yeah, no, and exactly what you said. You know, you read these things, and they do make you incensed. They fill you with fire and craziness.
They're infuriating.
Well, and you just channel it and you type it.
Right, well, and that's fair, and I mean, I'm hoping you're at least making some cash off it, because here's the thing: is they are like that, and that's probably one of the things that gets me really, like, really raged up. Is like, you read this nonsense, like you said, you can't even get through it, and then you think, and then the next step, when you actually, finally poured your brain back in, you go, wait a minute, people fucking buy this. They make millions of dollars a year on this shit, and then your brain's just vaporizes, and then you just suck it in and hope it stays. You know what I mean? So, like, hold your breath, or just believe this one book, because I don't know if you know this or not, Bill, but this book.
There's a book.
There's a
that
book
explains that.
Oh man, this hurts. Sorry, this hurts just even thinking about. Wow, that is seriously some props.
So how long did it take you to go through the entire process of reading all of these claims, making the counterclaims to it, and getting it published, and all of that? Like what kind of
editing and?
I started in reverse. I had a publisher, Dangerous Little Books. They're the guys that publish C.J. Werleman's books. Also that publish Dan Arrell's book, his most recent book on secular parenting.
Right.
They're a really good publisher, really great boutique publisher. DangerousLittleBooks.com. If you're interested in getting yourself published and you have something to say and you're coherent, look them up. So I started there, and then
coherent.
and then I took the claims. I had the idea. Took it to the publisher. Publisher said, "Yep, good idea. Let's start it." So we started it. I took the claims. I was very methodical about it. I found one that I liked. I took delineated the very specific claims that I wanted to address, and then addressed them one by one. It was actually a very quick process. By breaking it down like that, it was a pretty damn quick process. I think we had the book done in about 3 to 6 months, and
wow.
That was including a huge amount of editing, and you end up, after the editing process, you end up hating the book by the end. You just sort of like, press print. Somebody fucking press print. I don't want to look at this fucking thing anymore. Or don't print it. Whatever. Yeah. I don't care. I don't want it anymore. Don't ask me for anything anymore.
Fuck it. I
don't even want this book.
I can only imagine the editing, at least if it was me and my writing style, the editing that would be going on through mine would just be removing all of the all over. It was just like,
I actually accidentally misspelled Barack Obama's name.
Oh no.
Oh, what?
And I felt terrible about that. But Yeah,
he watches the show, so if you want to apologize, please, now is the time.
I'm sorry, Barack Hussein Obamacare.
Damn it.
Nailed it.
Great. Now we're going to have the NSA on our asses.
Well, now I see why you do a recorded podcast with editing. Okay, that's making a lot more sense now. Okay, all right.
So you can cut out mentions of President Obama?
Right.
Please, I'm in the safest country on the planet.
That's people can't even find your country on the map, man.
Yeah.
Austria? Where is that
shit? There's no guns.
I ain't going there. They're fucking dingoes.
That's true. We weaponize the koalas.
Right.
Or the massive snakes and spiders.
Oh my god, your spiders are nuts.
Right. I am still freaked out by that list that I read. It was like 25 reasons to never ever go to Australia, and I was like, yeah, they're all great reasons. Never
Whatever.
gonna ever fucking go.
Australia is a beautiful place.
Yeah, I work
It
with an
is.
Australian, so it's that means I can make Australian jokes.
That
It's
wants
okay,
to
guys,
kill
it's
you.
okay. I
The
know
country
some
wants to
Australians
kill
are.
you.
Yeah. Hey, I gotta ask you too, real quick. A bogard, right? That's like slang. That's like saying like a redneck for Australians, right? A bogard.
No, it's a bogan. Bogan.
A bogan. That's right. A bogan.
Bogan.
You borrow me
Yes.
later. No, man, you always borrow me later. All right. My buddy just showed me that.
Oh my
Australian,
God!
and
Stop it.
if you guys haven't seen that, okay, throw that totally soft off. If you haven't seen a bogan, go check that bogan video out. It's the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
I
But-
haven't seen it. What is it?
Oh, dude, if you just check out like just the bogan, and it's basically a little cartoon that somebody did, just like a kind of a shitty animation where a guy is a bogan and he asks for a lighter, I guess from this dude who he always asks lighters for, and he's like, no man, you always borrow me lighter and you never give it back, and he's like, oh, come on man, just me lighter, just give me the lighter. And it's just
That is the best Australian accent I have ever heard.
Right?
I've got a lot of them that are pretty damn
Holy
good,
fuck.
right?
Like, that was so good.
You're welcome.
How are you not doing Tom Cruise movies?
Well, to be honest, I'm a little bit too tall. That's the only reason. The height.
Yeah, you can't be taller than Tom.
Yeah, sorry. If you're above 3 feet, you just cannot be in films with him.
We'd love to have you, but we may have to chop you off at the knees.
Yeah, right at the knees, or sorry, buddy. Oh, whoa.
Fun.
Stop the presses. Gee, hey, Paul's here. Thanks, bud. Thanks for finally fucking joining us. You're only in the same. Well, yeah. We only start at the same time, just a different day today. Whatever.
Yeah, you should totally
Anyway.
say where he lives.
I just
I
realized.
know.
So I stopped myself.
I saw.
Wait.
It was
Sorry,
insane.
Paul. Sorry. There's blame.
You gotta stop doing
I
that.
told you this was a bad idea. Okay. So.
Somebody asked a question just a little bit ago about gluten-free beer, and it's
Yes,
gone off the
Nancy.
thing. But
Sorry.
I just wanted to address that because it is absolutely true that they do make gluten-free beer. Have you guys ever tried? Steve, you said you have a Australian co-worker. Have you ever tried Vegemite?
I knew it was coming.
forced you
Yeah.
Oh.
Have you ever tried to eat it?
Yeah, he actually keeps it on his desk. He actually eats it like in front of us, and I don't know. I honestly I'm convinced that he's doing it as just a prank, just to get one of us to vomit.
Wait,
I'm
do you not like
positive.
Vegemite?
Oh, it's the worst. Actually, here you go. I think I can. I'm pretty sure. Look down the camera at me, and I'll see whether I can do a Vegemite face.
All right, here we go.
Okay, I'm gonna try.
Do it. Yeah, that's about right.
Oh man.
Except without the spewing coming out at the same time. It's just fucking
That's my beard. Okay, that's my
yeah,
beard.
that's fair. All right, fair. Yeah. Oh man, it is some rough stuff. And you want to know the best part? The first jar he brought, he takes it out and he's like, yeah, Vegemite. We're all talking about like, yeah, you guys really like this stuff. It's crazy. And he's like, yeah, it's pretty cool. And he's putting it on. He's eating it. I swear, dude, the next day we take a look at it. It expired like 9 months ago, and he was like, I don't
doesn't
fucking
matter.
care. Just keeps eating it.
No.
Just like, dude, you what?
It literally does not matter. It does not matter, right? That the Vegemite will never go off. It is like you know how that saying where nuclear fallout happens and the cockroaches will be the only thing alive.
And Twiggy.
Well,
Right.
if you put cockroaches inside Vegemite, they will die. Okay, this thing will never ever go off ever. Okay, Vegemite is indestructible. It is completely indestructible. Disgusting. Don't get me wrong. That was not praise. But yeah, no, it's it's awful. It's awful stuff. I can't. I mean, it's not for the glutards like me anyway. So, but it's awful. Oh my god.
I think you can just stop at tards, I believe, is what they just kind of go
Ooh,
with.
snap.
Oh, right? I'm on it, huh? I'm only making fun of you because you have more followers than me. So both David and Candace
He's
know.
jealous.
I am totally jealous.
And he has a great beard.
Who, me?
And
A great,
you need to shave.
great beard.
Me or Jake?
Steve is working on
Jake.
his beard.
Okay, I was gonna say.
I know, but he needs to work a lot harder.
I know. I'm not very good at it.
As an Italian, I can just hold my breath, and all of a sudden the hair pops out.
Speaking
That's
of
amazing.
working harder, Jake, do you have any future projects coming up that we should know
Nice
about?
segue. Nice segue, David.
Gotta put you guys back on track.
Do not
Thank you for that.
phrase that. That was an awful segue. That was an awful segue.
I try
I
my
do.
best with these two. What do you expect me to do?
See what he's working with? Honestly.
I'll continue the podcast basically probably until I'm dead.
Nice.
But I've got coming up very soon. I've got Briz Skepticamp in Brisbane, my home state, my home capital city. We're hosting a Skepticamp. If
That's
people
awesome.
It is going to be fantastic. I'm hosting it with my very good friend Ross Balch from the Skeptically Challenged podcast. He is fantastic.
Another podcast to put on my list. Oh man, there's so many.
That is one of the best podcasts out there. If you're really boring. No, I'm just kidding. No, it is a really good podcast for the skeptically minded. He takes just everyday things and looks at them skeptically. Really interesting dude.
That sounds interesting. It doesn't sound as interesting as Prophetcast, so probably just Prophetcast, but you know.
Well, you really need a shirt that says "I am fucking great."
Well, I was taking advice from the great Jake Farr-Wharton, who again has more followers than I do. So he said we should just kill all the other ones, right? Just listen to me. So there you go. Good. No, that's cool. I'm definitely going to check that out. That sounds cool.
Yeah, no, it's worth it. But so I'm hosting Briz Skepticamp with him. We're doing 2 live podcasts. One is the very first event. I think it starts at 12 o'clock on July the 19th. If people listening or watching are Brisbaneites or likely to be in Brisbane around July 19th, it's at Hamilton. If you know where that is, great. You can tell me where it is because I have no fucking idea where it is. And you can check it out at.
You're hosting the thing and you don't even know where
you
it is.
don't even know you're going, right?
Russ will pick me up. Hopefully, I really hope.
I will be there.
I will be there. I think.
Yeah, at least by Google Hangouts, I will be there. So.
BrizSkepticamp.org.
Nice.
BrizSkepticamp.org.
We'll have a link in the description for everybody.
We'll also put it on the website. But I was curious, real quick, do you guys have the same alphabet as we do over there in Australia? So is it no? Fuck. So this is gonna be hard to put on the website.
Completely different.
Damn it.
Sprechen de Deutsch?
You know. Oh. All right, never mind. I'm not even gonna go there.
No, you should. You should.
Do you think I should? You think I really should?
Yeah.
No, I really don't think I should. No, because there's been drinking involved, and there's a wife that's literally.
There are children involved. I mean, there are children watching.
There's some right here.
I hope there's not any children watching.
All right, so I've got to ask this.
We're all children, Candace. We're all children.
So Jake,
God's
maybe
children.
Maybe, no. You know what? Let's actually have Jake read this, since you can see the Q&A, right, Jake? Would you mind reading Amanda's question?
Amanda says, Jake, can you compare your decks to other decks on the block of your street? I'm looking for some information on strong and healthy decks. Amanda, I really can recommend some very strong and healthy decks on my block. They're centered around my nether regions, and... yes, actually, I am a carpenter by trade, Amanda, so I'd be delighted to build you a pretty sweet deck.
Nice.
Wow.
That's actually...
So, how much do we have to drink for all of that?
Yeah, I know, right? God damn it. Dear, bring in another beer. Oh, man.
That is a not Jeff Foxworthy. What's the guy that used to do... it's an American game show. It is Drew Carey. Drew Carey. That's a Drew Carey skit.
Whose line is it anyway?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there's also if you go on YouTube and you look up, like, I think it's like New Zealander, like, deck. The way that New Zealanders say deck, it's dik. So that way, it sounded like he says dick,
Dick.
and I think that's what she was trying to get you to say.
Oh
dick.
yeah. Kiwis are morons. So
Kiwis, that's right. That's right. What are Aussies called again? I know I was told like one is Kiwis and the other is what are they called?
Australians. Yeah.
Sheep fuckers, I think is.
No, that's the Kiwis as well.
That's what I thought.
What? No.
Kiwis, sheep fuck? Wow, that's scary. I'm not... Okay, this is getting weird.
Wow.
Man. All right. I'm going to attempt to field these questions. Remember how quick my reading skills are, so everybody watch.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take the one from...
Steve, you have some very nice swag there.
Nicely done!
Ah.
There you go, Carrick. Jake, you are a pimp, man. You got it down. You are a pro. You are a pro.
Oh yeah, you got swag.
Actually, we are going to have some swag.
Swag.
So we are going to sell some swag. So, and which I'll sign
What?
too, by the way. If anybody, if we're going to get our logo and we're going to throw it up on some shirts and some hoodies and different things. And if anybody buys them, I'm going to throw in something like if they donate,
totally
I'm going to sign it.
If anybody buys them, I can build them a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll totally build them a dick.
All right, you're gonna actually ask him a real question.
There is an actual question here, yes, from a Mr. Joshua Potter. This
Mr.
is
Potter.
Potter from the group, right?
Yeah, turn to page 394.
Yes, but
Yes.
this is a question for Jake. Can you speak to the phenomenon that is organized secularism? I see it on the rise and increasingly present in social media. What is your vision of the future for these organizations?
That's not how Josh talks, by the way. I'm just going to let you know.
Not at all.
Not at
Not at
all.
That was
I-
the
I-
worst
but I like
impression
it.
I've ever heard.
I hope he starts talking that way, Josh. That'd be sweet.
How does he talk?
Oh, no.
I mean, how
Dude, you
am I
heard my
supposed-
Australian accent. You want me to do another one?
Is he
you
British?
kidding
Is
me?
he Australian or British?
No, he's totally American.
American.
And
Oh,
this
okay.
is you don't want me to do an American accent because I mean you're already hearing this, man. It's already be fucked. Our
Jake's
viewership-
American
our viewership
accent is
wrong.
fantastic.
Yeah,
I think that you should answer the
One of
question in an American accent, Jake.
let's hear it.
Okay.
Done. That was brilliant.
Thank you so much. So guys, no, I really can't. It's something that I can only do sporadically. I can't prepare for it. What is the organized phenomenon of
Organized secularism.
Secularism. So secularism, organized secularism. It's a good phenomenon. I think it's great. What is the vision for the future? To grow some eyes from stem cells.
Be secular.
To be secular in an organized way that is positive. I really don't know. That is a hard question to answer.
You know what I like to try and picture for a possible best future in secularism is
Nope, I don't.
Shut the fuck up, Steve. Just because you hate Star Trek doesn't mean that the society inside the Federation is something that we should not be able to strive for. Okay.
Boo.
Fuck you.
Boo.
Aww.
I'm just not a Trekkie. I'm not sure if I totally understand what you're fully talking about, Josh.
Well,
what is it just like? I mean, is it just that there are more people that are secular, and it's just like I guess is he talking about in Australia? Is he talking about here in America? Where are we talking about?
I know what you're talking about. You know, because in the Star Trek universe, there are multiple different races, people living together. In starships, in space stations, on planets.
Same
And they're
thing in
all
Star Wars.
No, I mean, I'm more or less talking about the development that happened on Earth, where we moved to a point where skepticism is revered over religious beliefs, and the idea of currency is practically wiped out, where basically you just need a job and you're taken care of. You have the same amount of opportunities as everyone else. There's no higher class, middle class, lower class, anything like that. It's just
You will take these Republic credits.
That's right.
Oh yes, but there is there is still currency out there, but it's just the idea of the like religion being looked down on, skepticism and science being something that is revered instead of pushed to the side, and we live in a society where there are no more stupid social issues like racism or gender equality or things like that. It's just everyone is taken care of, everything is equal, and it's a completely secular society.
I feel like I've heard this before, and it's called something else, but yeah.
Not what you're thinking.
Not
Greece.
Yeah.
This is Sparta. I don't know. This is it's. I think it's a good thing to strive towards to move away from our. I'm a bit of a minimalist, which you can tell by my expensive microphone and expensive camera.
That is a nice microphone.
But I was raised in northern Italy, where socialism reigns supreme. And when we moved to Australia, I spent a lot of time in farmers in big rural districts, big rural areas where socialism again reigns supreme. I'm a socialist to my core, and I do think that what you're talking about is a move away from the capitalism that our current society seems to hold above all other ideologies, and when religions are treated with skepticism, when politicians are treated with skepticism, so that they can no longer use these systems of belief to enforce their capitalist ideologies, then we will be able to move forward as a society in leaps and bounds.
Right, and where
like
the strive for more money, more positions, more, where it's just like, I need that new big screen TV, I need this.
It's like, I've got Warp 4, but like Warp crystals can totally go to Warp 9. Why can't you build me a fucking engine that can go to Warp 9?
They broke the Warp 10 barrier, alright?
Chewie, engage hyperdrive.
What was? I want to say that it was Star Trek that has that like going. I don't even know the stupid quote. Anyways,
There's Klingons on the starboard bow.
That's it. That was the one.
Seek out new life and new civilizations to boldly go where no man has gone before.
That's it. Going where no man has gone before. That is the one.
To boldly go where no man has gone before.
That's the one I was gonna say, and I was just gonna say, well, isn't that why they made the light speed Booster 5 to make it go to ludicrous speed or whatever? Like, wouldn't that be the reason they made it go to ludicrous speed? Is because they're like, well, fuck it, we haven't been to ludicrous speed. Let's do it.
Have you guys noticed that Candace is really taking her time drinking that drink?
Yeah, she's stuck in a dirt face. It's kind
of. Oh man, did she get disconnected? Man.
Either that, or she's really savoring the flavor of that star.
That looks really good, Candace. I almost kind of highlight you and just stare at that. Never mind, that sounded horrible.
No, I mean, so trying to actually address the question, I think that we can all agree that secularism being on the rise is a good thing.
Totally.
And we should definitely be striving for a more secular future with these organizations.
Well, I say it can even be demonstrated by, like, look at, for example, the Middle East, where you have religion that has taken hold of the government, and then you look at where given. Sure, the United States isn't maybe always.
So wait, are you talking about like a theocracy?
I am kind of talking like a theocracy. Now that Candace left, now would be the perfect opportunity to segue into the theocracy and the blog post that she put up. But
the Twitter theocracy that's been going on in Pakistan, and the government being controlled by their religion, and
right. Well, yeah, exactly that exact thing. I mean, that's why we have secular laws. I mean, you look at secular life and secular thinking. Look what it leads to.
Do you want to go ahead and read over this, or should I read through what
hang on,
I typed out?
Before you do, I just had a thought on the whole future of secularism thing. Perhaps what he's alluding to in his question, or she is alluding to in her question. I can't remember. Joshua, probably a guy. Yeah. So I think a move away from partisanism. I'm an atheist and screw everyone who is an atheist, or I'm Muslim, screw everyone who. Are you smoking a hookah?
Oh no, it's a Aspire Nautilus.
Yeah.
What the
Sponsor.
It's
It's
so
a vaporizer.
It's so I can get his stupid ass to stop fucking smoking, because his dumb ass keeps smoking.
Yep.
And
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, stop
So what I was.
cigarettes.
To totally detract, this
Sorry, yeah.
thing has saved me so much money.
Yeah.
So much
whatever.
damn money compared to buying cigarettes every like 2 or 3 days. It is unbelievable. I've only had to refill this container, and it holds 5 milliliters of tobacco fluid once.
Do you know what saves you even
2.5
more money? Not doing it at all.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Look at Candace. She is giving you the most skeptical eyes that
Yeah.
I've ever seen.
She has no idea what's going on. Sorry,
Well,
Jake.
that's because
Totally
Candace
interrupted.
loves her cigarettes.
Right?
So
Anyway.
yeah, but basically what I was saying is a move away from being so partisan as we want to do. Having left religion and certainly coming up against the issues of religion that are inherent in a society that does hold religious people and religious belief systems above those who have a lack of belief, means that atheists will want to push back and have wanted to push back against those laws that favour religious people and religious believers. So I think the future of secularism, moving away from this partisan belief system, understanding that the person that you're speaking to, while they are religious, they are another human being.
Right.
I think that is the next step. I think that is the next step. Recognition that you're talking to a fellow human being, that we want to live in a society that doesn't promote one person over another, that provides equality to all. That is the future of secularism.
But so
And the only way that we can reach that is by going to imaginaryfriendshow.com.
Well, before
Nice.
we actually get
Nice.
into talking about the Twitter hashtag Twitter Theocracy, there is another question here from Greg Piercy.
Piercy, this guy here.
Piercy? Yeah, if you want to select that real quick.
for it. Yep.
So I'm guessing he's asking, do we hold capitalism above other ideologies, or do we just believe it will be a better long-term system, given the failures of others?
Well, we live. Most of us live in a fairly, especially in the US,
Fairly
you guys live in a very, very heavy capitalist system.
Yeah.
Australia lives in a slightly less capitalist system. Generally, you can tell the level of capitalism by the number of regulations holding back, if you like, holding back industry, which is another way of saying oppressing the fucking people that work for them. And the people that buy shit from them, and the people that live in the areas around where they produce the stuff that they make. So, yeah, America lives in a very heavy capitalist system, and America will continue to do so until you get Obama number 2 or maybe Hillary number 1, because, well, the amount that your industry is allowed to pollute without any consequences, the amount that
It's
your
pretty
industry
terrible.
is allowed to crush workers under their boots without any consequences is terrible. Yes.
Yeah,
so
and
the answer to your question is yes.
Yeah, and the amount of these companies being able to just straight up deceive consumers also. Like, they say that they have regulations on GMOs.
Coca-Cola is
that
great for your fucking teeth.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But, I mean, like, GMO is a good example. There's regulations where it's like, we recommend that you tell people that there's GMO foods that they're eating, but you don't have to. It's like, that'd be kind of nice if you were actually telling us how the fuck our shit was being made that we are eating and putting in our bodies.
I'm Walter Brimley, and I take my diabetes medication with
Diabetes.
cold Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. With some whiskey. Wait,
With
I
some
can't have Coca-Cola
Enjoy.
or whiskey because I got diabetes.
Enjoy the dentures you will be.
God, I love that guy. That guy cracked the shit out of me. Oh, man. Looks like
Yeah,
Greg says
so,
that we nailed it, so, yeah.
The answer to that question, Greg, is again, I'm a socialist, and I probably will be for unless something else comes along. Yeah, look, I'm a socialist, and I think that personally, in a macro world, works extremely well. In a micro world works very well. Macro, it's very hard to tell because it simply has not been rolled out any further than in half of a country. Certainly, you look to North Italy. Northern Italy is almost entirely socialist, and through their taxes, ironically, they fund all of southern Italy. Rome is funded on the backs of Northern Italy. So yes.
Damn.
Huh. I did not know that. Interesting.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Huh. Well,
Did you guys know that we only have 9 more minutes?
I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say, damn, we only have 9 minutes. We didn't hit any of these.
This is
other topics.
unreal. I feel like
Cool.
we definitely need to be going over on this.
We can if you
I
want.
can hang out. That's cool.
That's fine with me.
I mean, it's only getting later for us, and it's only getting more and more into the early evening for you, Jake.
Yep. Soon it will be cider o'clock.
Yeah.
There you
I
go.
don't have any cider, so.
Yep. Which we So
But,
soon it'll be Wildstar o'clock for me.
Yeah. So I guess this is as good an area as ever to start talking about the hashtag. Come on. I mean, Candice wrote a blog about it. And everything.
Yeah.
You can check it out on her blog. It's your most recent blog post, right, Candice?
Yes.
I'm gonna go delete it.
Actually, since you're the one who wrote the blog, why don't you go ahead and take over the reading of the topic for us here?
Hey, Candice.
Because I don't have access to the drive.
Okay.
Well, that Timothy says that we can only give you so much privilege, so that's why. So
okay.
I love me some Timothy.
I guess I'll go ahead and do some duties here and
some duties.
Yeah.
I said duties. Good. No, actually good. I can actually then quickly ask. Damn you.
Fuck you, Steve. You talk way too much.
I talk a lot.
Why don't you just introduce the topic and then I'll do everything from there.
The topic is Pakistan has recently forced Twitter to censor parts of Twitter. There's a hashtag going out called hashtag Twitter Theocracy. Woo! It's been trending for the last week, and it's brought about to criticize Twitter on their folding under the pressure of Islamic blasphemy laws out of Pakistan. On June 4th, Twitter agreed to use its, for the first time it's ever used the country withheld tool to block blasphemous tweets in Pakistan endorsing the suppression of freedom of speech and aiding Pakistan's blasphemy laws.
Fucking ridiculous.
Over the past month, Twitter
not
accounts have been suspended and tweets have been blocked in Pakistan on
Timothy.
Yeah, Timothy. On June 10th, there was a call out to Twitter users from the ex-Muslims of North America to tweet the hashtag in opposition of the stance Twitter has taken. There's actually a website set up for people in Pakistan where they can straight up just upload blasphemous information and it can get censored by the government.
That's for the Pakistan Telecommunications Authority, and
PTA?
Yes. And well,
you ruined my school's PTA. Thank you so much. Damn it.
They Twitter actually put together, or they started implementing the country withheld tool before June 4th. It was actually in preparation for Draw Muhammad Day.
I did that. Mine's right there.
Oh,
I have Muhammad. It's Muhammad next to Muhammad. who's a cowboy.
So, I mean, essentially, they could go through and block anything that would be considered blasphemous. Pakistan, however, it really enraged me when I was going through and reading all of the information regarding the blasphemy laws,
No doubt.
and then the fact that Twitter is complying with this and saying that it's
Right.
okay. It's a completely illegal request as far as the country is concerned, and as far as for what Twitter stands for, with the freedom of expression and being able to get those ideas out. So it was just, I was almost in tears when I was doing the research from everything that happened.
I felt that it was really interesting that Twitter went through with this also, because I mean, they were instrumental in like the revolts and the revolutions that were happening in some of the countries, and
like the Arab Spring.
Yeah, people were using Twitter, and that was, even though the government tried to block it, so somehow they got around it and people were still able to access it. And so it's funny how they would bend to, blasphemy laws. Yeah, in Pakistan. It was really frustrating for me as well.
Yeah.
Have you guys thought of making a movie to help people discern what is blasphemy and what is not blasphemy? Just like a PSA
Blasphemy.
type thing.
That's not a bad idea.
Blasphemy.
So you do something like, have you ever wondered what blasphemy is? Have you ever thought of putting out something and perhaps not putting out something because of some sort of threat against your life, just in case it might be blasphemous? Well, we've put together this very helpful guide just for you to help you see whether the things that you're doing are blasphemous or not. Right here, I have a battery. This battery is not blasphemous.
Yes.
Next to it, I have a rubber band.
Oh,
This rubber band is not blasphemous.
Yes! That's 2 for 2. All right.
Okay?
2 for 2.
Now, I'm calling this battery Mohammed.
Okay.
This battery
That's
is
what I call
now
my batteries.
completely. This battery is now completely blasphemous. Now, I'm going to take this battery and I'm going to insert this into my vibrator. This is now a blasphemous vibrator.
Well, at least it went there. That's
and
good.
this has been blasphemy with the Thought Prophets.
Damn right. All
and
right.
we have the explicit tag for a reason. That was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah. The blasphemy law thing is really interesting, because I got in a conversation or an argument or discussion or whatever you want to call it on somebody on Facebook.
Discourse.
I shouted at someone.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have to caps anything. She did. She had to caps, so which sucks for me, because I lost, because once she caps it, that means it's true. So I was like, fuck you for taking the fucking truth fucking thing there. But no, like she complained to me that because I drew Muhammad and Muhammad, that I was offending Muslims, and that I was specifically trying to offend them, and it's like the whole point was like, well, one, like people can be killed for this, and you're getting pissed at me because of a cartoon that I drew, instead of the fact that people are being killed for potentially drawing this cartoon. Like, it just seems, I don't know, so strange and so weird that I got so much guff from that. Versus,
So you should take Jake's question, because Jake is being, or Josh,
Well,
I mean.
I'll take Josh's question.
He's being Josh.
So
there you go.
he asked, does anyone know what Pakistan's constitution guarantees as far as the freedom of expression? I don't
Oh, that was
believe
clear.
they have one.
Yeah, that was nice.
So what appears as a violation of our rights is not as far as Pakistan is concerned. So I actually addressed this as a part of my blog post, because I was doing the research on it, and they don't have any specific policy or laws as far as what they are or are not allowed to access online. They don't have any cyber laws or policies. So as a result of that, they would have to put something into effect. It's not like they're guaranteed a freedom of expression. It's just not addressed as a part of their human rights and their laws.
Interesting.
I'm actually on Pakistani.org. Looking under their constitution, and there's a section here, section 19, freedom of speech, etc. And it says every citizen shall have the right to freedom of speech and expression, and there shall be freedom of the press, subject to any reasonable restrictions imposed by the law in the interest of the glory of Islam or the integrity, security, or defense of Pakistan or any part thereof. Friendly relations with foreign states, public order, decency, or morality, or in the relation to concept of court, commission of, or incitement to an offense. So it says right there, blasphemy laws, hold up.
So basically, you can blaspheme as long as you are stoning an adulterer at the same time. So basically, your expression of naughtiness or blasphemy has to be less than your expression of Islamic virtues.
Right.
And
you have freedom of speech.
That seems fair too, right?
Yeah.
But you can't
as long as you are stoning an adulterous woman at the same time as drawing a picture of Muhammad, which I got to say, that is pretty difficult to do.
It was tough. It was tough. I saw yours too.
I'm talking about drawing the picture at the same time as stoning. It's like pat your head and pat your belly and I mean, how are you supposed to do that? How are you supposed to do that?
I don't. Well, then I could clearly see why they had that law in place.
I can hardly talk and think at the same time.
I mean, honestly, Josh, seriously.
Obviously.
It makes that analogy makes sense right there. So honestly, so.
Yes. So context. Context. Yes. Context. There you go. You have freedom of speech, but if you start to bitch about or say something bad about Islam, then your ass is
or the state.
Yeah, or the state,
or
exactly.
The
state. It's whoever's in charge, right? Whoever's in charge.
Or any part thereof. Friendly relations with foreign states, public order, decency, or morality.
Oh, somebody needs to put a beat to that. Yeah, that's interesting. The guy there, Greg Piercy, is totally correct. Like Islam, blasphemy is whatever the guy in charge says it is.
Yes.
So if you offend the dude in charge, then you're more likely to have actually committed a blasphemy offense.
Act. Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Well, the thing is, in Pakistan, it's illegal to criticize the laws themselves. So, not only are you not allowed to commit blasphemy, you're also not allowed to say anything bad about not being able to blasphemy.
That's just
in Soviet Pakistan, laws oppress you.
And so, I mean, this is kind of where it's confusing for me for why Twitter actually allowed this shit, because already the government has control to say you're not allowed to view this or you're not allowed to see this because it's blasphemous.
Well, no.
But that's been around for a while. I mean, that's not new.
Oh, let me clarify here. They are allowed to punish their own people for doing it. There's
with
in their constitution or within their laws that says that they are not allowed to view such content.
No,
and they don't have anything.
Sorry, want to hear the next part? 19A, right to information. Every citizen shall have the right to have access to information in all matters of public importance, subject to the regulation and reasonable restrictions imposed by the law.
Right, but it's not specific to cyber laws or anything, which was what a lot of people.
So you can access Twitter as long as it's out of a book.
Book. What the hell's a book? That's the analog screen thing, right? Yeah. Huh.
Just go to the Twitter head office, ask them to print off the last 3 weeks of tweets, and then you can read them one by one.
And also give them.
And if you want to retweet, all you have to do is photocopy it and give it to your friends.
Right? Mail it. Oh yeah, that's just ridiculous. How does that seem like a good thing? Like to anybody else or anybody else in the room here, does anybody else think that limiting this kind of information is a good thing that should happen? I mean, I would assume
totally,
absolutely.
I think one of the best things that anybody could ever do as the leader of a country is to completely suppress any form or level of advancement, because the last thing that you want. The last thing that you want is those uppity dickhead kids getting smarter than you,
right?
Kicking you out of office. I mean, I have had enough of those Arab Springs, enough of those uppity shits.
We're quite finished with this.
Yeah, I say
all of the leaders of Pakistan became British. What do you do?
Somehow, yeah.
You little fucks, you will sit there and you will enjoy your cup of tea, and then you will not read anything ever again. Okay? You got it? That is the way that it will be from henceforth.
Deal. Ha-ha.
Cheerio.
That's right.
Oh, man.
Josh
just wants to continue the conversation here. Joshua Potter says again, okay, now
can you
that
at least read it like Snape?
Yeah.
Yes.
Come on.
I don't really know if I can.
Okay.
Now that we have forced that in, how can we feel any righteous indignation when no Pakistanis' rights have been violated? That was horrible. That was terrible.
That was really bad.
It's been a long time. I was trying to go for nasally yet monotone.
Yeah. So I guess I don't
10
understand
points
how.
Gryffindor. Let me just say that.
Well, see, it's not the fact that none of their rights have been violated. It's the fact, for me at least, that these laws are even in place, where they're going to sit here and say, you have freedom of speech, but you cannot have freedom of speech against
for this.
Yes. The fact that there is a constitution out there that says to its people, you're not allowed to talk shit under the law, and they can change the laws at any point. I mean, they have those religious edicts that come out, and that's basically part of the law that comes out as well, because they are an Islamic theocracy. So if they come out with an edict that says you're not allowed to eat fucking apple pie, and if you do, it's blasphemous, and we're going to kill you.
And you're going to kill you, yeah. That's
still within their rights.
If you've ever seen American Pie, there's a good reason to ban.
That's fair. That's fair.
The last thing you want is young boys having sex with apple pies when they could be out having sex with their camels.
Well, hold on.
I wasn't going to go there. I'm glad that you did.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you did too, because honestly, have you tried an apple pie?
Or a camel?
Well, no, I asked about the apple pie first. I want to know about the apple pie first. We'll get to the camel next. Yeah, right. Yeah, and I kind of agree with you, David. The fact that these are in place is what's ridiculous, and that's the kind of stuff that needs to be addressed and stopped. We need to.
They have a constitution though, so while you can put out these the edicts, the fatwas, etc.
Fatwas, right.
And they can certainly be put out by the religious clerics, right up the line. They can't amend the constitution of any country. You cannot amend the constitution without some sort of rule from the some sort of vote, either from the people or from the government within. So that's the way that even these harsh theocracies, and Pakistan isn't a complete theocracy. They still do rely on votes for a constitutional change.
So
fatwas come out, but sorry, go on, Candace.
I want to address something as far as clarification, because it appears that more than one person is under the impression that this isn't a violation of their constitution, because their constitution allows the government to withhold content. And I'll send out the link for this, but we actually have
we can just put it in the description.
Yeah.
right. They're by some of the secular activists within Pakistan. They have released some information as far as the penal code for legal justification for content removal, and I'm just going to quote it here, where it specifically states that the question that then must be asked is of the legitimacy of the request forwarded by Pakistan Telecommunication Authority, the PTA, in accordance with Section 5 of the Pakistan Telecommunication Authority Reorganization Act. So they're supposed to regulate licenses and the workings of telecommunication services. It does not give them any authority to arbitrarily restrict content, and that's who's putting through the requests. On top of that, it doesn't allow the federal government to authorize content removal, whether by itself or through another. It's that content removal is beyond the ambit powers of the PTA or any government authority. So it is a violation of their rights as citizens of that country. It's also a violation of the United Nations Human Rights Act.
Are they a signatory?
Ultimately bullshit. What?
Are they
a signatory of the Human Rights Convention?
Oh yeah, they signed it.
They signed it?
Yeah.
They did?
They have? Okay.
I believe so. Didn't they? Hold on. I'll have to look it up now.
Yeah, but Paul makes...
I thought I heard something about it, but...
Yeah, Paul makes a good point here that Twitter acquiescing... right? I'm saying that right? Acquiescing to Pakistan on this issue mitigates further efforts to preserve their existing rights. The goalposts have been moved now, and thus there is a new standard, making it easier to continue to move them in the future as they need.
Nice. Soccer analogy.
Yep.
Soccer analogy. Very apt time to be making soccer analogies.
That's a football analogy.
Yeah.
Goalposts.
Yeah. Soccer.
Yes. Yeah, no, that's a brilliant point. It's a brilliant point, and I think Paul's absolutely right on that. Is that exactly? They move the goalposts, and it just makes it a lot easier for them to do it again and do it again and do it again, and that's what, I mean, that's what we see happen.
Unless the people rise up, but as you were sort of saying, they literally do not have any avenue to rise up against the power, because it is in their constitution that if they do that, then they will be held in contempt.
Exactly, or killed even, right? Like there were those atheists that were blogging that were beheaded, right?
It'll take something like the Arab Spring. It'll take something like the Arab Spring in order to topple that type of regime. And, where the Egyptian military was pretty tough, the Pakistani military is tremendously powerful, and ingrained within the society. So, I just don't think that will happen. But I wish them all their luck, and I will totally Twitter activism for them.
Nice. For the record, yes. Yes, Pakistan has signed the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and they actually criticized Saudi Arabia, who abstained from the from signing.
Pot meat kettle.
Right.
Exactly.
Hello. Man. Wow. Jeez. All right. Well, we've been about 15 minutes over now, and I think that it's hard enough to listen to something for like an hour and a half as it is anyways, and I'm really getting jealous of Jake, because he's really beautiful. That's a really nice beard, and the mug, and that fucking microphone. Well, we can keep going for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, I wanted to get out these recent news that happened since our last podcast here.
Sure, go for it.
The amazing, outrageous bullshit in the continuation of the horrible, horrible policies of gun control in America. Nice, nice horns.
Yes. Do I make you horny, baby?
Yeah, absolutely.
Make you horny?
For those of you who watched the last show, Steve and I were going on and on and on for a while there about the Seattle Pacific University shooting that happened. And since our show, there have been 2 more shootings, one that happened the exact same night as the cast that we did. I'll save that one for last just because it's a bunch of craziness. But one shooting that happened on Tuesday was in Portland, Oregon, where a 15-year-old boy named Jared Michael Padgett came to school with a rifle, an AR-15, by the way, a semi-automatic handgun, a knife, and 9 loaded magazines capable of holding several hundred rounds of ammunition. He brought all of this on campus with a guitar case and a duffel bag, and he shot and killed a 14-year-old boy named Emilio Hoffman in the school's locker room. They don't know why he shot him. They don't know if there was any kind of bad blood between them, but he just did. And after killing Emilio,
holy shit,
he
Correct.
shot at the PE teacher, Mr. Todd Rispler, and he only managed to graze him, which is amazing because Todd was able to alert the school and a lockdown was issued. Later,
Nice.
Jared...
Probably because he was in shape, he could run all the way to the administrative office.
He backflipped the whole way.
Exactly. But later, Padgett was faced off with officers in a hallway where shots were exchanged, and he was cornered into a bathroom where they sent in a police robot and found him dead from a self-inflicted gunshot.
Really?
Yeah, and just today, actually, an apology was issued by his parents. Michael Padgett, his father, and Michael's ex-wife Christina, who was Jared's mother, wrote a letter that was released today where they state they are at a loss for how and why the shooting occurred, and that they taught Jared and their other children the values of compassion, forgiveness, patience, and the love in Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
They quote, "These were all natural attributes that we observed within Jared daily," the statement said. "Knowing that these are the values that we have taught our children, we are horrified and distraught by the actions perpetuated by our son."
So it was, in other words, it was a Christian who did this?
Yeah.
I thought atheists are immoral, because we don't... never mind. I can never get
we're
those two.
amoral.
Yeah,
that's
and
right. That's right.
it's just amazing how this kind of thing is... I'm cutting out, kind of?
No. I was just going to say, you're going to cut our show into another 45 minutes talking into these topics. These aren't easy
right.
topics. These aren't easy topics.
He wanted to ask questions presumably about Australian gun laws, yeah?
Yeah, a little bit, because you guys have some pretty strict gun laws over there where you're not even allowed to own firearms of any kind, right?
Some kind of cool certification, right?
Yeah, sort of. There's a bunch. So take a step back. In 1995, from memory, there was a massacre in Tasmania with semi-automatic rifles and shotguns. I believe the gentleman's name was Martin Bryant. He killed a number of people at a national landmark that drew a lot of people.
Wow.
That was one event. It took one event in Australia with semi-automatic weapons, and the Prime Minister at the time, John Howard, instituted a gun buyback that was completely indiscriminate. You could basically sell any gun that you had. You could give it to the government office, and they would pay you money for it. And it was being melted down, recycled effectively. The other side of that was you would basically, once that law came into effect, you were not allowed to own any semi-automatic weapons whatsoever and no handguns. And you had to take them into the government office to be bought back by the government. And that's only gotten tougher from basically there. So
Don't you
from
have to
then
have
onward-
a check every 5 years for mental stability?
There's that, as far as I know. That's for handguns, yeah. And
Wow.
some people are allowed handguns, but they have to be practicing members of handgun shooting clubs. They need to be participating in handgun sporting events. And really, sorry, go on.
Well, so basically there has to be a reason for you to actually own your handgun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds amazing.
And that is kind of how I feel about guns in general. Why have them if you don't have a specific use for them?
Right.
Like when I was about 15, a cow on my grandparents' farm fell both front hooves first, into a pothole and broke both of its legs. And as a consequence, I had to put it down with a rather large shotgun that we had on the property. And I've used a gun twice in my entire life. That was the first time. The second time was a feral cat that got in and ate all my chooks. And I've literally
Ate all
never
of your
used
what?
a gun. All my chickens. Sorry,
Chickens,
it's Australianism.
Shucks.
Chickens. Chuck.
Shucks. All right.
Exactly. So so basically that was
Ate all his
I've used
shoes.
a gun.
Yes.
Ate all my shoes. I am an archer. I practice archery regularly.
Nice.
That's cool.
And I own
Just
several
everything
bows.
over here.
But you know, when it comes to guns, I literally do not think that anybody apart from farmers actually has any legitimate need for a gun. And even with farmers, there are some very specific guns that you do not need, and probably one or two that you maybe might want to think about getting, but you don't actually really need.
Yeah, but hold
Right.
on. See, but that's quite an assumption though. Like, what if 9, 10, maybe 11 cows all accidentally break the front of their legs on this huge.
And you
long
have to
pothole?
kill them all within a
All
second.
right.
Holy
You
shit,
just gotta
I
bust
never
out
thought
an
of that.
That's what I'm saying. That AK, done. Got them all.
It's an AR-15. All right, you can't own AKs.
AR.
The
Whatever.
Kalashnikov, absolutely you can. But
Right.
yeah,
Exactly.
What'd probably be more efficient is if you got a 50 cal and mounted it on the top of your house, and then that way you just shoot one bullet and it'd explode through the heads of every single one of those 15 cows. I think that's probably more efficient because we Australians, we're all about efficiency.
Yeah, sure you are. That's what.
Wow.
Right. Yeah. So.
Well,
So,
that's cool.
Like, what kind of pushback were the citizens giving to all of these laws? Was there? Because I would expect that if we were to do the same thing in our country, that there would be a lot of very
Take our
upset
ground.
Tea Partiers.
Yeah.
There would be a lot of upset people.
People,
in
just
general,
a lot
not
of
even
people, yeah.
not even Tea Partiers. I think a lot of people would throw a fit about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was definitely some pushback. Absolutely. It wasn't heavy, and it was localized. But the whole thing was, they used the national tragedy. They used the fact that this thing happened in front of everybody's face. They used the national tragedy to fix a problem. The problem was that some Australians wanted to kill some other Australians, and they had a very efficient measure or a very efficient method to undertake that killing of other Australians.
Mm-hmm.
And so they corrected that. They got rid of that method that was enabling Australians to kill other Australians. I frankly, I literally cannot understand how America has gone through so many public mass shootings,
Right.
mass killings,
Oh yes.
and has not come to some sort of the national gun laws have become more fucking lenient How the fuck does that happen?
Honestly,
How the fuck does that happen?
We've had more like cell phone and car laws than we've had of fucking school shootings, or I mean, a fucking gun control and gun laws. And you know what I mean? Like, and
it's just beyond.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
I think at this stage, every time a mass shooting happens, everybody in America, every progressive individual needs to send the government of their state, of their country, the federal government, and the NRA a congratulatory card saying, "Congratulations, your stupidity killed more people."
Brilliant.
I do it.
Absolutely.
I just don't know how to get the point across. Guns are for killing people and getting and threatening to kill people or kill things. Guns are for killing things and for threatening to kill things.
Oh, but
so
I need
basically
AR-15 for home defense.
Yeah, because there's so much home defense.
And what if the government knocks on my door and wants to, try and take away, my property? And what if they start to, become some sort of socialist country and they want to take over? I got to fight back against them, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but presumably you're going to need the socialized healthcare in order to survive the shooting that you'll take.
Exactly, and we don't have to worry about the military because they've got drones. We could go on and on. This is exactly what I was saying, David. Is we could go on for another half an hour. We will have to move these to the next. And actually, this is good because then we could pull this bastard back in again. So now we suckered into another show.
You just want to stare at his face more.
So maybe I do a little bit.
You're totally man-crushing.
Maybe not.
There's so many good comments.
I know. There's great comments. I really wish we could hit them all, but we're gonna have to. Like I said,
we're at an hour and a half.
It's hard to listen to an hour and a half, dude. Seriously, we don't edit our shit. Yeah. So we'll just go to this.
I didn't even get to my second shooting topic.
Oh well, guess we'll get to it
Everybody's
next time.
heard about it. It was the Las Vegas shooting. If nobody knows about that on Sunday night.
If everybody heard about it, then what do you mean if nobody knows about it? Anyways, Jake, is there anything you feel that you didn't get a chance to say, or anything that you want to try to pimp, promote, throw out there? You got like a podcast or something like that, right?
I can promote a couple of things. If you want to connect with me, I'm at Jake Farr-Wharton on Twitter. If you want to know how to spell that, then you're not alone. You can go to imaginaryfriendsshow.com, and there's a Twitter link on there. You can connect with me through there. But imaginaryfriendshow.com. And as I mentioned sort of at the beginning, we're doing Skepticamp in Brisbane, which is going to be incredible. The tickets are almost sold out now. We really, I think, only have about 10 or 15 places left. So if you are in that area and you're thinking about coming, now is the time to get the ticket, or you're going to miss out, unfortunately. It's free. It's a free event, I'd say. Completely free event, but if you want to come, register now, and that's brizskepticamp.org. That's me, my friend. Oh, you can check out my book. Of course.
Yes.
Letters, Christian Leaders, Hollow Be Thy Claims. It's on Amazon, $5.99 on the Amazon Kindle store. It's like 4.5 stars out of 5. Pretty good reviews.
That's pretty good.
Very nice.
Go there, buy it, and review it. Yeah, definitely. Nice.
Yeah, totally. So, and you can go and check out our show as I mentioned, imaginaryfriendshow.com, or go to iTunes, check out the show there.
Yep. Subscribe and rate there too. That definitely matters.
Bam.
Did you just say subscribe and rape?
See, that's what happened last time. Well, I mean, depends. What are you into? I don't know you that much. So okay, well, I was just asking. I don't know. Okay. Rate. Sorry.
You're not doing any better. Like
I know.
You need a better pop filter on your thing because it's coming out with.
I think I need a bigger microphone. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. That's got to be it.
Oh,
pretty sure.
Right. Your partner said the same.
Steve.
Don't worry. Never mind. My wife's got a big enough microphone to handle. Okay, Candace, do you have anything that you want to wrap up on?
No, just the blog post that I did regarding Twitter theocracy on nonprofitist.blogspot.com.
You.
And that's about it for me.
Follow you on Twitter.
Oh, yeah, at nonprofitist.
Yeah.
Yay.
David, got anything you want to pimp?
Oh, just that I'm going to be jumping through fire and, getting all muddy and possibly hurting myself on July 19th, and people should donate so that I definitely hurt myself because, I'll like fall or something if I can
doing
make
that?
$1,000.
Will you actually jump through fire?
Yeah.
Like
I'm supposed to be jumping over fire and climbing through like.
Over fire. I thought you said through fire.
Well, through over.
Is that toughest man alive competition?
It's called the Warrior Dash.
Oh, that's right. I've heard of that.
Yeah. No.
Could you?
Are you a warrior?
Indeed.
Warrior princess.
I like how your voice is dropped an octave.
You know what you ought to do though is. David, you should completely quit smoking, and you'll probably find that you'll be able to do that warrior dash a lot more efficiently than you could if you continue smoking.
What's the
Yeah.
for St. Jude's?
Yeah.
What's the website?
I had it here, didn't I?
What, the Warrior Dash website? It's on thoughtprofits.com.
And it'll also be in the description for it here. Hang on, I should be able to actually find this.
Let me just sit here.
It's warrior.stjude.org/David Lee Curry is mine, and /Deanna Curry is my wife's.
There you go.
Go on, donate to Deanna.
Nice. Yeah,
donate
your wife's
to
already.
Deanna, it still
You know
counts
what,
towards
guys?
my
You know what, Steve? You should say only donate to David if he quits smoking.
Oh, that's a good point. You're right. There you go. That's it.
Ouch.
Yeah. Give no money to David
Well, see,
unless he quits smoking.
This isn't
No,
technically-
no, not technically. I don't want to hear your bullshit. I don't want to hear excuses.
This isn't technically smoking.
You guys.
This is
Get
now been worth you
over it.
being on the show. Yes. No. David. Yeah, I know. Not worth it. No.
Steve, do you have anything that you want to pimp?
I have a lot of things I want to pimp. Yeah, I'm actually starting a new thing. It's called Bible Babble. I'm going to be reading through the Bible and just giving off a couple of quick,
Oh, that's totally original.
I know, right? I know, but everybody's done it, but I haven't done it yet, and I thought, maybe someone might like my voice or something or whatever. I don't know. Plus, I kind of just want to do it for myself too. Nope, I didn't think so. So check out that. You guys definitely check out thoughtprofits.com. Check out our blog, blog.thoughtprofits.com. Go to iTunes, subscribe, and rate us. Please subscribe and rate us so we could go up much higher. Follow us on Twitter. There's one, yeah. Follow us on Twitter, and of course, join our Facebook group by simply searching for Thought Profits. Jake, thank you so much for joining us. It was
thank you.
An absolute honor, and it was great that you.
I love you guys. I have been watching you on a Monday afternoon, my time, on the train home from work for some time.
Sweet. That's so cool.
Mainly only because of Candace.
I don't blame you.
Oh.
She's great, and I think everyone agrees.
Well, I'm glad that you think that.
You did say I really do enjoy the show, guys. Please continue doing it, because it is very entertaining. Sometimes a little bit informative, usually not, but it is definitely entertaining.
Good.
All right.
Awesome. No, thank you. And Candace, thank you for joining us as well, and getting Jake and suckering him in. That was awesome.
As if you
I
needed.
blackmailed him, actually.
Yeah.
We're just lucky that he didn't host the show for us.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I thought about it, right? Just like.
I already did a show today, so I'm stuffed.
Right. Yeah. He's already got his fame filled for the day. Yeah. What a nice guy. Thanks. Yeah. So yeah. Other than that, guys, check out. There's a few pimpins. Obviously, check out Cranify Me. Check out Godless Family. Check out Amanda, my wife. Check out humanistmom.com.
We gonna check out your wife?
Yeah, check out my wife. You
Oh,
can
Check out my wife.
She's awesome. She's awesome and hot, and she's amazing. But yeah, so again, thank you everybody for joining us, and it was a long show, but it was totally worth it. Until the awesome, we'll have it back again. And you have a godless night.